Hello and welcome to Canva's World. I am glad that I'm finally putting up a video. I haven't put one in a long time, but today I just felt like I need to because I was just ranting at home. I've been watching Big Brother. I plan to review Big Brother this year, but when the whole thing started, I just lost interest. I had so much going on within. But this today on, I said, nah. I was ranting to my siblings. I mean, you know what? Let me just carry this my rant and come here and just drop it and just say, you know what? I'm expressing myself. I'm standing for an opinion that I believe in that might not be popular, and I'm also doing my thing and creating content. So please, before I proceed, like, share, subscribe, and thank you. And also look out for more videos. So I'm diving straight into this Bella Fina Groovy fight. Okay, let me say this. I'm not absorbing Shegs or Bella of any sin or crime they have committed in the past. But people have this character, human beings in general, just because somebody has done something annoying in the past doesn't mean that they should be treated like shit. Do you understand? Everybody in the Big Brother house has the ability to be rude. That's just the truth. There's this movie narrative or this flying narrative that Bella can be rude, and Shegs can be rude. So also can Fina. Fina is rude, and Fina has had rude moments. So also is Hermes. So also Chichi. Chichi is very rude. Even Adekunle has had his moments where he has sparked. And that's just to mention a few. The only people that have tried their best to be articulate, to be calm, and maybe because it's in their nature, Daniela and what's this beautiful bald lady's name, Alison. Those are the two people. And I agreed with Doyin when she said Nigerians support bad character. But this is just a typical example, and I'm just going to dive right in. Today, I think it started from yesterday. Now, Elo Swag and Chomzi were evicted, right? At least that was what we knew, and that's what most of the housemates still in the house knew about the whole situation. Now, when you have a close friend and that person leaves, it's only normal for you to take some of their own stuff. People who are not really that close to them can't take it, but that's okay. Let's even assume that, okay, that's not what the deal is. Elo Swag gave all his money to Shegs, right? And apparently told Shegs and Bella that they can have their foodstuff. But the night after those people were evicted, I started hearing Fina and Chichi already saying that food, we will take it, the whole house will take it. There's nothing they can do about it. They're already planning to take the food. And they're no longer a collective. They're all not cooking together. It's like everybody else is cooking together and Shegs and Bella alone. It probably would have been Shegs and Bella, Elo Swag and Chomzi, but because those people are out of the house now, it's not like everybody and then they're alone. So if these guys, the collective will now take the food for their friend and then they'll be left out because they're not part of the collective, that's messed up. It's just like saying Groovy leaves the house tomorrow, and then we're now arguing on who is going to take Groovy's food stuff. Everybody knows, because number one, he was very close to Fina and they had a thing going, that it will be Fina that will take it. Chicket, I don't like the fact that these Shegs and Bella are now being bullied. At first, when Shegun was saying, oh, these people have it out for us, they're against us, it was looking like the guy was just saying rubbish. But right now, they have it out for them. Fina, she won head of house, so using her veto power was like, we asked Big Brother if Elo Swag actually asked you to take the food, but before then, this food, we're going to share it. It's going to be for the collective. And, Shegun was like, no wahala, you can ask Big Brother, but why do I have to lie about food? That one passed. Now they went to the level 3 house yesterday to see a movie, and they asked Chomzi and Elo Swag. Thank God that those people are still around. If not, this story would have been a different thing. And then she asked them, who did you give your food to? She didn't even say, oh, Chomzi, Bella and Shegs said you guys should take our food. No, she just asked randomly, who did you give your food to? And those ones mentioned Shegs and Bella. Now, who was wrong in this situation? right? It was Fina and every other person else against these two people, and they were not lying. Like, you might not know, but the truth still is that those guys were right. I don't expect them to be big enough to go back and say, oh, you guys were right, I've asked them, that kind of thing. No, no, it's fine, of course. And they were still lying. They're like, they're being rude about it. How? It was just an argument. Your word against theirs. The Sheikh is like, they said we can have the food, and you're like, no, and you're using your power. Now, Fina was the one who told them that they were being rude. Mind you, Fina and then Brian and then Google were like, they're being rude, they are fighting downstairs because of food, right? She told those people. And when those people came back today, and now they are sharing the food, at least those people are back now so they can take their own food, right? There's no need for Sheikh and Bella. But the truth still is that, as in concerning the matter, they did give them permission to take their food, if that is the argument. Then Chomzi and Doyin were now asking Bella and Sheikh. They brought it up. They're like, we heard that you guys were very rude about it when you asked them. And Sheikh and Bella were like, do you really believe that? That is cap. You guys, so those ones asked them based on what Fina had told them. And Sheikh and Bella were like, no, we're not rude, but we're just saying that this food belongs to us, period. We're not going to beg you for something that we have already been given by our friends and is now our own. That's how Fina, I say, from her throne. Because you know, when you give people power, they just feel like they can't do anyhow. From her throne was like, she doesn't want to hear anything. That right now it's time for the wager. Like, if they want to discuss, they can go to the room. Please. In this 21st century, how can you tell grown adults that if they want to have a discussion, that is not disturbing you? The people that are sharing the food are sharing the food. You are on your throne, sitting down, making calculations and jotting. And I'm sure that in that same house, there are people that are having their own side discussion. But because they're discussing about something that happened yesterday, that you were wrong, like you were wrong in that matter, you are not trying to dismiss them, that you don't want to hear anything. If they want to talk, they should go inside the room. If we want to really be honest, can anybody tell Fina that same statement and that house will not come down? That's just the truth. Let's just be honest. Just because these people have become public enemy doesn't mean that you guys can begin to bully them and throw any rubbish. Do you understand? At the end of the day, you were wrong. They were actually right. They said the truth. This guy actually gave them the food. You confirmed that. You were not big enough to go and say, oh, you were right. Of course not. I don't expect that of you. But now they're having discussion, and those people were asking them that, were you guys rude? Because you told them that they were rude. And they were replying those people that asked them the question, and you told them that they should stop talking. You're head of house, and you have restrictions, but you have power to, you know, how do I put it, organize stuff, like sharing the wager that you're doing, but you don't have a right to tell people when to talk and when not to talk, just because they're saying something you don't like that you were wrong at. And then the insult started. You are stupid, you don't know how to talk, you're a fool, this and that. That's okay. People, I mean, emotions get heightened, people insult one another. If you catch me on the wrong day, you go collect, that kind of thing. And then I think she was not telling Bella that if she caught her outside, if it wasn't in the house, she would beat her, break her leg. Then Bella now said, well, you're from the streets. And then she stood up. I'm from the streets. I'm like, why? You started this. Fina, I know that people love you, and I'm not going to take anything away from you. You are yourself. And sometimes people relate with originality. You are yourself, right? But you should still respect yourself. And just because you have been up for eviction time and time again, people have saved you, now you're beginning to feel, okay, you know what, I have fans. And you do have fans, and you just might win the show. But this show changes a lot. I remember last year, Pere was #1 hated enemy. People did not like him. He was very rude. But I don't even know what happened. And then this guy just became liked and ended up being in the top 3. So just the same way, somebody that was hated by everybody somehow won people's hearts. You too, that you're loved by people, there's a level of nastiness you will do, and people will also become irritated. So don't think that now people are saving you, have fans, you can start bullying people and talking to people anyhow just because you're the head of house, because you have a loud voice, or because you think you can beat people. If it's an argument, then let it end with verbal altercation, like you threatening to beat people just because you can. just because you can, because you think you are strong. I have been bullied in my life. I hate when I see any situation where people are being bullied. I will speak up, and I think that to me, this just felt like these guys were being bullied, because there's no reason why you can tell this, you will tell these people not to talk. Because nobody can tell you, nobody can tell Chichi, your friend, or even Rachel, don't talk. While they're insulting each other, she said she will break that one's leg, that one say you are from the streets. She now says she doesn't know who raised Bella, but whoever raised Bella did a very bad job. Really. Now you are referring to her parents or her guardians. That is wrong. Just because you people hate these people now doesn't mean you should start hitting below the belt and even going lower than low. Keep it where it is. Insult the person, let the person insult you back. Even though you were wrong, since you guys have started, insult the person. But for you to go and insult the mom, and that's when Shegs now stood up and was like, no. You can't. Why would you be saying who raised her? Because now you're referring to the mom. Of course, the whole house will stand up against them now because they're the bad guys. Just because somebody did something annoying yesterday doesn't mean that in perpetuity they're always going to be wrong. And in this case, Shegs and Bella, they are not wrong. They have been. Now there's almost like a bullying thing happening. Everybody's against them, and that's okay. That's fine. You understand? Some people would argue that, oh, all the things that they have done have finally caught up. That's okay. But it doesn't still mean that there won't be cases where they aren't wrong. And this is one of that time where they are not wrong. In this case, Fina is wrong. Fina might be your fave. I have nothing against Fina. But she is wrong. And when I went to the comment section in some of the videos that I saw people saying, oh, amazing things. Yes, Fina got them. She was wrong. Let's not be too emotional to not be able to call a thing a thing. And this thing that I'm saying, I am saying it is wrong. And this might not be popular opinion, but this is my opinion and I'm unapologetic about it. And this just goes to support Doyin's notion that says Nigerians support bad character. That's all. Because when I went to the comment section, like, when you say who raised you, that's how Shegs was like, oh, why would you say that? All the other guys rose up. If something is happening and it's as in against Shegs and Bella, nobody will stand up. Everybody will just watch them go through it. But let it be somebody else and they are involved, everybody will just come against them. And then Adekunle was like, hey, don't pull them out, they can handle it themselves. That's okay. But something will get to a point where other people are supposed to actually put mouth and say it's okay. Madam, you don't do. And the first time, they were telling Shegs it's okay, this and the rest, they had a shouting match. Shegs sat down, Bella sat down. Fina went on and on with the insults, and Bella would respond, went on, and then she started again. I don't know who raised you. And that, like, for me, that really did not sit well with me. To me, that was very tasteless. That is a very tasteless statement. And I don't appreciate the fact that a lot of people are glorifying it. It is tasteless. Keep it where it is. And you're not saying, me that you call me stupid. Don't I have people? No. You can stretch a rubber where you want to stretch it to. Somebody too can say you called me fool. Are you saying my mother gave birth to a fool? Let's keep it. No. You are stupid, you are mad. But when you begin to go as far as to say who raised you, now you have left where it is and you are going to somewhere else. So please bring it back. You have been saved many times. You are now head of house, but bring it back down. Fina was wrong in this situation. I just had to rant. I literally just had to rant. I don't like people being bullied. When people, and when there's like a large number of people, like when you get people where they support you with plenty, they give you mind to one day flex muscle because you know that people will support you. And people, because somebody did something wrong one time, doesn't mean that they will always be wrong and doesn't give you the right to now begin to bully them. Because, see, I have a feeling that, this hard exterior that Fina has developed over time is because she's trying to protect herself. That's what we do as humans. As humans and as animals, we try to evolve. We try to, evolve in different ways to protect ourselves from hurt. So when you see some people being rude, you see some people being harsh, you see some people being closed off, it's because they're trying to protect themselves from bullies. So let's be careful. Why trying to protect ourselves from bullies to not end up being the same thing that we're running away from? try to make this short. It wasn't so short, but yeah, let me just leave it at that. Thank you for watching. If you did watch everything, thank you. If you disagree, please let us disagree respectfully in the comment section. Let's not insult one another. The good Lord be with you. So I mean, if you disagree, it's fine, but let's just be respectful. Let's disagree. Let's have a dialogue, and maybe I can learn a thing or two from you too. You know, a healthy dialogue is always nice. You know, it's when people start threatening and start taking, it just goes to show that you're intellectually weak, because you cannot actually bring out points to defend your point of view. So now you just go and you start raising your voice and you start making threats. If your point is good enough, you will win the argument. You don't have to threaten anybody. I said it. And on that note, I'll see you in another video. Bye.